So guys, this is again Yosef Martin and Scotty Clary at Liquidity and Liquor, and today I want to bring a point. I heard Jeff Bezos on an old video saying that stress is something that comes from things we don't do, not things we do. We don't do things that stresses us. We're not stressed over what we do. We're stressed over what we don't do. And I kind of thought about this and looked at my life. I looked at other close people that are close to me and asked myself, how true is it? And I got to talk about this because this is true. See, the little things in life that stresses us is what we don't do. If I have to wake up in the morning and do my bed and I didn't do it, and eventually I kept procrastinating, there was mail that I got, but I didn't want to pick it from the mailbox. But eventually, a couple of days later, I picked it up and now I have a lot of mail. But I put it aside because I didn't want to do it. And eventually I have to do the dishes. And then eventually I have to go and I received some mail in a box and some Amazon boxes, and I didn't want to pick them up. All those little procrastinations, do tasks of life that you need to do, make payments, bills, do all those annoying, unnecessary things, right? All of them are doable, but when it's a cluster of them, right, it's already less doable, at least, right?
I feel this in business every single day.
Every day, right?
It's because all the different tasks across every single person in the business, you have to have all these different conversations with people. You have to empty your inbox. You have to reply to so many people. You have to send out quotes. You have to put in orders. You have to update the CRM.
But do you get stressed over it?
I used to a lot. I have a solution that I have in my head that has worked for me, but I used to get a lot. I used to get very stressed because and there's different personality types. I was the neurotic person that had to have no emails at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And if I had emails at the end of I would get stressed and I wouldn't go to bed till I've answered every single email.
So imagine that some people get depressed. That the next step is depression. And when you have so many tasks that you have to do, and for years you're trying to catch up with your obligations for years, that turns into a depression because your mind tells you this is life, right? When it's business, it's one thing, but when it's your actual private life, mm-hmm. and you have to manage so many things that you're just not, you keep procrastinating, and the time that always needs to come due and knock on your conscious, like this, you're depressed. Now, you know what you have to do. You need to declutter. Just like you have a messy room that stresses you out, you're stressed out because you don't want to go to your own room. You basically don't want to go to your shelter, to your temple. You don't want to go there because it's messy, right? So in that case, understanding where discipline comes into play, right? Obviously, everybody knows how to do it, and there are plenty of books to go and tell you how to be efficient and organized and all that. But disciplined. If you don't have the discipline, that's because you're depressed, and you have to swim against the current.
I was going to say, because I have the discipline. I'll walk through my scenario, so maybe it lends a little bit of light. But I think it's also important to understand that not everybody's the same. Everyone's very, very different for this kind of thing. But even in personal life, it applies. I spoke to business because those are usually the bulk of tasks that pile up on my plate. Only because actually, now that I think about it, in my personal life, for the small tasks that can be done right away, I almost have like an auto reaction to getting them done, because I can't, in my mind, let small tasks in my personal life build up because I'm already stressed about my business life. Mm-hmm. So stuff like picking up mail. So to give you some context, whenever I moved, when I was moving from condo to condo, and I didn't have a house, because the house you can't do it. But when I was moving from condo to condo, the day I moved into the condo, I'd want to unpack every single box and put everything where it had to be, and cut up the boxes and fold them, put them away. Yeah. I mentally had trouble letting stuff sit overnight.
Yeah.
It kills me. And then, because then I know that I have to do it, and then I have to focus on one task at a time. And if it's moving, it's moving. Or if it's unpacking groceries, it's unpacking groceries. And then when that task is done, I can shut it off in my mind. I can focus on business, which is more complex and energy consuming. But I have a hard time focusing on business when personal life stuff is out of order. So because of how I function, I had to adopt the do it immediately, or only initiate that when I've segmented enough time in my day. So I wouldn't go grocery shopping unless I could put them away. I wouldn't open a box
So
or
what
furniture.
happened with someone that's not disciplined like you? Because you're clearly
No,
disciplined.
I'm telling you that I wouldn't open a box.
Yeah, but that's you, right? That is you. You have the discipline, the mental discipline, right?
So I think that if I had trouble with discipline, then I would introduce someone else in my life to help me hold myself accountable. So I would, if I had trouble cleaning up, it would be super embarrassing, but I would ask friends for help. I think that's the best way to do it, because you'd be almost shamed into
most
fixing
people
it.
that have that issue ignore.
I know.
That's why you see them.
But it's never going to be a comfortable answer as to how you fix it. There's no happy answer.
Exactly. But I mean, the idea is that what we're talking about is that why people get stressed and why do they end up going into depression. So
because they don't ask for help always.
Well, so so they don't ask for help, right? They ask for help is a big deal, and you're talking about that. And the thing is where I've seen the viral video everyone saw, the Navy SEAL admiral. I forgot.
Oh, the make your bed.
You make your bed, right?
Yes.
And then I really followed that. I mean, I was organized. I was never really a messy person, and I was okay. But I cannot leave my house unless I made my bed. And that is so true, where it basically gives you the motivation to do the next task and the next task. And then if you don't do it, it's easier to procrastinate, right? It's the first thing in the day that you can start.
I have another rule. I think this is, I'm going to blank on who does. It's a 5-second rule. It's if you have to do something, do it without thinking about it. Do it with it. Like, force yourself to do it start the thing in 5 seconds, or then you're going to not do it.
What's your morning routine when you wake up? What's the first, I would say 30 minutes. How do you spend your first 30 minutes?
So my first 30 minutes, so I'll wake up. I usually try and get like gym in first before I start working.
But no, 30 minutes. Because you're like... Yeah,
I mean, I'm not great. I'm like... I'm not perfect.
Okay.
I'm wake up, I'm coffee. I'm wake up, coffee, to-do list. So I do have an urgent important list every morning, and then I'm emails.
Well, that's perfect. That's organized. You see, you're doing the important things right away.
Yeah, but I'm not like meditating and all that.
I don't meditate. Listen, I don't meditate. Look, I'll tell you this. What I do is I usually get up, I take a shower first, brush my teeth, and I brush my teeth.
Do you shower every morning?
Every morning.
So I usually do it after I work out. That's why.
Well, I work out and I take I shower 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So I shower when I wake up, first thing when I wake up. I just have to. I feel like it's a must for me. Then I brush my teeth. I do twists and push-ups. And I drink a glass of water.
To get the blood rushing.
Yes, the blood rushing.
Smart.
That's just army thing. Just get the blood rushing. If sometimes I get more energy, so I do other things, but then like I'll push it a little bit more. But the twists is what I hate the most. Just if there's one thing I hate twists more than legs days. This is so awful. But once I'm done with this, I feel like the worst task of the day is gone. Even though I do it again at night. Then I do the bed. I go down. I get the glass of water in between all that, by the way. And I start the day, right? So I feel like I did a couple things that starts. I take like little vitamins, whatever it is. But the twist is the thing that's harder for me, and I figure I'll just do something that I hate doing. And I jump into the shower when it's cold, and I let it warm up. So when I start the shower, I'm not doing the whole 3 fucking minute thing, but I open the water and it's freezing, so I go in when it's freezing, and it takes about 5-10 seconds until it gets hot.
Yeah.
But I still go through that. So at least it's something, right?
Yeah.
I'm considering buying a bath, but that's...
I love that. So I mean, like that's a good routine. Actually, it's a very good routine. Mine's a little bit different, but I think the point is, like, whatever the takeaway is have a routine.
Have a routine,
that accomplishes your goal. So the reason why
you're gonna feel so much energetic if you do some sport, because they're saying you need to do a couple push-ups, you need to get a glass of water. This is the first thing you have to do.
I do
when
water.
you wake up.
I didn't even
water.
Water is like not even a thing that I think about anymore. I don't know how I'd go into a day without drinking, because I probably drink like 15 bottles of water. I drink a ton of water.
Yeah.
But have a routine. Like yours is like physically stimulating. I do like going to the gym before I work, but not always an opportunity. But I should actually do some push-ups in the morning. It'd be good.
Just something to get the blood flow, and then
I do think that after the physical stuff, like I mentioned, like my urgent important. So it doesn't matter if there's different things to call it, urgent important matrix. You can Google Eisenhower matrix. It doesn't matter. All these mean is that you have your list of tasks, and you are basically saying what's urgent, what's important, what's not, what can be delegated, what doesn't even have to be done. And that's how you prioritize your day. And then you mentioned another good one, which is another productivity tool called Eat the Frog, which is doing the worst thing right away in the morning.
I do it right away because then everything else looks easier after that.
All right. Okay, that's it for today. If you enjoyed, please subscribe on YouTube. If you enjoyed this podcast, you can download and listen to it wherever you get your podcasts or on liquidityandliquor.com.